ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायैस्तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। We are hearing from Srimad Bhagavad Gita the summaries of Bhagavad Gita. Today we'll hear the summary of 6th and 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. 7th chapter is known as Dhyana Yoga, the yoga of meditation. So what is meditation? Concentrating our mind and consciousness. So where one sadhak, one practitioner will get this information and will be qualified to do this Dhyana Yoga. He has to approach a bona fide Sadguru, a bona fide Guru. Under guidance of a bona fide Guru, upon receiving the instructions of a bona fide Guru, if one sadhaka, a practitioner, we follow properly, then his consciousness will be purified day by day, and in pure consciousness, then he will be able to do meditation. What is the object he will meditate? That is the meditation upon the Supreme Absolute Truth, Krishna. So only it is possible if we taking guidance and according to the instructions of Guru, if he follows, then he will be able to do the meditation of the Supreme Absolute Truth, Bhagavan. It will be possible for him. And especially, we should know that a Dhyana Yogi, what is the pre-qualification? What is the qualification of a Dhyan Yogi? Kama Sankalpa Rahita. He should be devoid of Kam Sankalpa. When one takes a vow to enjoy the senses, takes a vow to get some object or requirement to satisfy his senses, that is called Kam Sankalpa. When a sadhaka is devoid of this type of determination to enjoy the senses, that is called Kama Sankalpa Rahita. This is a qualification. In other words, he should be devoid of the desire to enjoy the fruits of the material world, the fruits of karma. He should be devoid of the desire to enjoy the material senses. This is the qualification. One will be able to do the Dhyana Yoga. And not only in that platform, when one will be devoid of this type of desire, then he is a real yogi, real Dhyana Yogi, and can be called a real sannyasi. Other than this, without this process, this so-called so many methods are there. Nowadays people are preaching and teaching and followers, millions of people following also. Other than this, if there will be desire for material enjoyment, then that person, that practitioner will never reach the perfectional stage. He will never reach the perfectional stage or get perfection in Dhyana Yoga. Another thing, another qualification, what one sadhaka should practice. In 6th chapter 17 verse, Bhagavan is giving this instruction for all the yogis, especially Dhyana yogi, and you can apply this for Bhakti yogi also. Bhakti yogi is the topmost. What is they should practice? Yukta hara viharasya, yukta chestasya karmasu, yukta swapna avabodhasya, yoga bhavati dukkha. First goal is why one should practice yoga. Yoga is not some physical exercises. There is a goal. One should know why performing yoga. In general way, Lord Krishna is giving instruction. Yoga bhavati dukkha. That by that yoga, all the suffering of this material world will come to an end. That means the practice of yoga will steal away all the sufferings of your life in this material world. That's why one should know why one should practice yoga. And what one yogi should do, what is the qualification, and what will support him, help him practicing properly. Yuktahara, that means the diet should be proper and diet should be balanced. He should follow what is the proper diet. The mode of goodness diet doesn't mean one will take improper timing and take improper quantity and less or more. Should take balanced, how much required, and the food should be in the mode of goodness, should be Mahaprasad, more purified, more sacred. Yukta ahara vihara. Vihar means traveling. Gamana gaman. If when we are traveling, going here and there, or moving, or going somewhere, wandering, we have some goal. And that should be in proper reason. Without unnecessarily, Bihar should not be done. One should not travel or move around unnecessarily. It should be properly with some pure goal, pure intention. And that should be based on the goal of his life. Secondly, Yukta hara viharasya yukta chestasya karmasu. All his endeavors, all his karma should be also based on that, under guidance of Guru. What is the proper karma? What is all the endeavors? What should be proper should be done, what not to be done. Yukta swapna avabodhasya means swapna means dreaming condition or sleeping condition. It's sleeping condition and in dreaming condition. You will be able to control, and it should be for properly. If one sadhaka practitioner will follow this sloka of instruction of Lord Krishna, then he is qualified to become a yogi. He is qualified to be a yogi. And not only that, he will reach in perfectional stage. He will attain the perfection of the yoga practice. Otherwise, only wasting his time and physical energy in yoga. That is not proper yoga. Even for bhakti yogis, they should also follow this under guidance of a devotee, real spiritual master, pure devotee spiritual master. Next, Krishna is saying in this chapter, in 30th verse, 6th chapter, 30th verse, that when one sadhaka or one devotee, you can tell, or practitioner of yoga has attained perfectional stage. Many people they claim, we have perfectional stage already. We are perfected, siddha in yoga. But how will know he has attained perfectional stage? Lord Krishna himself saying this, Yomang pasyati sarvatra sarvangcha mai pasyati tasyam na pranasyami sachame na pranasyati. That means, that person, that devotee or that yogi, he should have that vision, he should have developed that vision in a stage that I see super soul, localized Paramatma, super soul in present in every living entity, even in every object, everywhere. That means he can realization of having darshan of super soul in every living entity and every object of this world. And in other words, also he has developed that vision already, that all the jivas, all the living entities, everything in this cosmic manifestation or creation, they all has taken shelter in Bhagavan, in Supreme Absolute Truth. Everything is taken shelter of, everybody taken shelter of Bhagavan, and in every object he sees Super Soul or Bhagavan. So that is a perfection. When one will have this realization, that is perfectional stage of yoga practices. Even it is applicable for devotees. So, in this chapter, it is Krishna also further saying that a devotee is more higher than a so-called tapasvi, karmi, jnani and yogi. But devotee, that means bhakti yogi. Bhakti yogi is the very advanced. And a bhakti yogi or a devotee is more advanced than tapasvi, one who is doing austerity. A devotee may not doing so much austerity, but he is higher than tapasvi, a person who is doing austerity. Higher than karmi, somebody telling, oh, karma is God, that they make their own slogan and own statements and preaching. Oh, karma is everything, work, 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 work. But who is higher? Lord Krishna is saying, higher is a devotee, more than karmi. Because he has attained that platform. That is higher goal. If you are not devotee, you should become devotee, because that is a higher level. In karma, you will be remaining in bondage. Tapasya will make you bondage. Jnana is also the only researching for knowledge. Even the knowledge about this creation and this and this. Even so-called yogi, they have not yet attained that bhakti stage. A devotee is higher than that type of yogi also. In 6th chapter, 46th verse, Lord Krishna is saying, Tapasvibhyo adhika yogi jnani vyopi matodhikaha karmi bhyascha yogi tasmat yogi bhavarjuna. Lord Krishna is saying, O Arjuna, you become that bhakti yogi. What bhakti yogi? That yogi means worshipper of Paramatma, worshipper of Super Soul. Lord Krishna is saying to become that yogi. Worshipping not only Super Soul, not only worshipping Paramatma, higher than that, Paramatma, Brahma Bhagavan, higher is Bhagavan. And Paramatma aspect is one partial expansion of Paramatma is from Bhagavan. It is a primary, preliminary. So at least one should become that yogi, the worshipper of Super Soul, Paramatma. Or become that yogi. Because that type of yogi, bhakti yogi, is higher than tapasvi, jnani. Jnani means impersonal, worshipper of impersonal aspect of Bhagavan. He has not realization that this impersonal Brahma Jyoti is Bhagavan's effulgence. He has not realized yet. That is only Jnani. When you realize, then in the process to reach bhakti. And then karmis, the working for fruit activities. So Lord Krishna is saying, Arjuna, that to become that yogi which is higher than this and this. In the next verse, in 6th chapter 47 verse, Lord Krishna is saying, Yoginam api sarvesam madgata antaratmana Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam same yukta tamo mataha. Here Krishna is disclosing the actual truth. Who is the topmost yogi? More clearly, openly saying, very clearly. And Bhagavan Krishna is saying that according to his opinion, same yukta tamo mata, in my opinion, Bhagavan saying his opinion. So Bhagavan is supreme, so his opinion is supreme, so there is no doubt you should accept that. What is that? Among all type of yogis, so many categories of yogis, that yogi is best and topmost, supermost, who is doing, who is attached to me with so much faith connected with me. Shraddhavan bhajate jo mam. Attached to Bhagavan with so much deep faith, condensed faith. That Krishna is my protector, He is my maintainer, He is all in all and on. Samam bonam of everything. So attached to Krishna because of so much deep faith. And Nirantar, continuously, non-stop, he is doing bhajan, remembering, chanting His glories, remembering His glories, chanting His names, worshipping, serving, doing bhajan 24 hours without interruption. He is best among all the yogi, or he is the best type of yogi according to the Krishna himself. So this was the essence of the 6th chapter. Let us continue this summary of the 7th chapter. In this chapter, Vijnana Yoga va Bhakti Yoga. The Bhakti Yoga is emphasized here more clearly about Bhakti Yoga. Although whole Bhagavad Gita is speaking about Bhakti Yoga, but still, this chapter, Krishna is giving more Vijnana Yoga. Jnana means only knowledge, but Vijnana means which is applied knowledge. The scientific way of utilizing the knowledge. That is called Vijnana Yoga. What knowledge? The knowledge about the absolute truth. Then one will be engaged in bhakti. That's why it is more Bhakti Yoga is been described in this chapter of 7th chapter. If one will cultivate properly this chapter, 7th chapter of this Bhagavad Gita, he will come to a firm determination. He will convinced. He will be fully come to the conventional stage that he will be fully convinced. The last limit of absolute truth, supreme absolute truth, last limit of absolute truth is who? Bhagavan Sri Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the last limit of all the Paratattva, the absolute truth. He is the topmost. He is the last limit. There is nobody. He is himself, Krishna himself, in his own words, he is saying, Mattaha paratara nanyat. Kinchidasti Dhananjaya. O Dhananjaya, O Krishna, you should know that Matta parataram nanyat. There is nobody superior than me. There is no superior truth than me existing anywhere in this creation or beyond this creation. Nobody is there. Mattara paratara nanyat. Same thing is confirmed in Brahma Samhita and Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam saying, Etechan sakala pungsa krishnastu Bhagavan swayam. He is the Swayam Bhagavan. He is the origin of all the Bhagavan. And he is the origin of all the Godheads, gods, everything. So he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Brahma himself telling, Ishwara Parama Krishna. This is a Supreme Controller, Supreme Lord, Almighty, everything. He supremely is Sri Krishna himself. So this is one will realize if you properly cultivate this chapter under guidance of a bona fide Guru. And especially, who is Krishna is saying that who understands Krishna? Very, very rare persons understands Krishna. But Krishna is saying, Manushyanam sahasresu kaschit jatati siddhaye jatatamapi siddhanam kaschit mang vetti tattvata. Out of millions of ordinary human beings, very rare they try to attain perfection in yoga. Perfectional stage. They want perfection. They want to be free from this entanglement. They want to free from. They want to searching something else than others. Kaschit jatati. They want perfection. Among those people, those who are searching for real happiness, real perfection in the life, jatatamapi siddhanam kaschit mang veti tattva. Among them, very, 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 very rare persons, they come to the realization of Bhagavan. Kaschit mang, Bhagavan saying, Krishna saying, me, they want to understand. In truth, among them, very, very rare, out of millions of trillions of people, very, very rare, hardly somebody realizes Sri Krishna easy in truth. Understand? And then Krishna is saying, who can and why you should understand me? First thing, why you should understand me in truth. Why you should take shelter of me? You should first understand. Because in this material world, everybody is suffering. Because it is controlled by the Mahamaya Shakti of Bhagavan. The external energy who is giving, controlling and punishing those who are opposed to Bhagavan and those who are not following the instructions of Bhagavan and those who are completely running opposite direction, which Krishna is speaking. So for them, for all the jivas, that's why how will be free from that? How to free from this network of Maya? Lord Krishna in 7th chapter, 14th verse is saying, Daivihesa gunamayi mama maya duratteya Mamebaja prapadyante maya metam tarantite. If you want to get rid of Maya, if you want to be free from the network of Maya, if you want to cross over the ocean of material existence, it is, Krishna is saying, it is very difficult to overcome. Because my Shakti, my Maya Shakti, my external energy is very powerful. But the only way, he is giving the secret here. Krishna is saying secret. Mam eva jo prapadyante, only that person who has taken exclusive shelter at my lotus feet, has only taken shelter of me. Mam eva jo prapadyante, maya metam tarantite, otherwise. Daivesa gunamayi mama maya durattaya. The gunamayi, threefold, this Sattva, Raja, Tama, he has this power of binding in the rope of mode of goodness, the rope of mode of passion, the rope of ignorance. This is how Maya is binding all the jivas. And you cannot be free. Only you will be free. Maya herself will release you if you take exclusive shelter of Bhagavan. Krishna is giving the secret. And then Bhagavan is saying, two categories of persons, two categories of people in this world. Some they surrender to him and some they don't surrender to him. Even they surrender to Krishna but with some condition. Oh, at least they are better. And some they don't surrender unto Krishna. Especially those who don't surrender to Krishna. In 7th chapter 15 verse, Lord Krishna is saying, Na namang duskritino mudha prapadyante naradhama mayaya apahurta jnana asuring bhavamasrita. Four type of person. First thing, namang duskriti, they have duskritina. They have no pious merits. Duskriti means they have done so much of bad karma. As a result, they have in this consciousness stage that they are not surrendering to Bhagavan. Even he is the supreme well-wishing friend, but still they are not surrendering. This person, first, namang duskritina mudha. Mudha means those are rascals, completely dumb. The senses, intelligence completely dumb, like ass, donkey. Namang duskritina mudha. Prapadyante naradhama. Naradhama means lowest among human beings, lowest consciousness among human beings. They will not surrender to Bhagavan. Mayaya apahurta jnana. Those who are, they claim themselves to be very, very learned, but the essence of their knowledge is stolen by Maya. They are fully entrapped in Maya. When you are trapped in Maya, your so-called knowledge will not function. You will not properly understand. You cannot utilize that knowledge. So the essence of that knowledge is stolen by Maya, because they are trapped under Maya. Maya apahurta jnana. Even they are learned persons, educationalists, scientists, anybody, so much knowledge, but Maya apahurta jnana, that is a stage, the essence of their knowledge is stolen by Maya, controlled by Maya. Fourth one is asuring bhavamasrita, demoniac. They don't accept the authority of Bhagavan. There is asatyam apratishtam jagadavaniswaram. Oh, the world is false, there is no God, nobody is there, we are the boss, we are the owner, we create everything. So this is how these four type of persons, they don't surrender unto Bhagavan. In 7th chapter 16th verse, Bhagavan is saying, the four type of person, they surrender to me. Even they are in conditional stage. Chaturbhida bhajate maam jana sukrutino Arjuna, because they have some pious merits. They have some sukruti. Without sukruti, without some pious merits, they won't come to Bhagavan. A special category of sukruti. Otherwise, many people are in difficult situation, but they are not surrendered to Bhagavan. So they have some sukruti. They are better. Chaturbhida bhajate jana sukrutino. Arti, artharti, jigyasu, jnani. Because they have some sukruti from past lives. That's why among them, one is arti, in distress condition. Oh, then praying to Bhagavan, going to temple, coming to sadhus. Oh, please save me from the danger. Arti. Artharti. He is seeking for material benefits, or he is in need of money. The artharti. Jigyasu. Inquisitive. Also searching, inquisitive. Searching. Also he comes surrendered to Bhagavan. Oh, please, please help me. Cannot reach. He goes to Bhagavan, surrender to him. He is searching about the absolute truth. Jnani, and one who is a learned person. That Jnani. So we have already discussed before what type of Jnani is this, but that Jnani is higher. Ultimately, this Jnani comes to devotional service. Although they surrender to Bhagavan, but in conditions, but still they are better than the other four persons. And gradually, when this Jnani stage they will come, and one day they will be able to free from this material ocean and reach the perfect stage of devotional service. In this world, the devotee of Bhagavan is very, very, very rare. Who is that Bhagavan? And Bhagavan is saying in 19th sloka, 7th chapter. What is that? Vasudeva sarvameti samahatma sudullabha bahunam janmanav ante jnanavana mam prapadyante. That Jnani, as you told, with Sukritiman, that Jnani, if when he gets the proper association of devotees, that Jnani slowly elevates himself consciousness. And time it comes, bahunam, even after many lifetimes, that Jnani real surrenders. Now partially surrendering with condition, will surrender really. And that time you realize, come to a stage where you realize Vasudevam Sarvamiti, that Bhagavan Vasudev, Lord Krishna, is Sarvamiti. He is everything of this world. He is everything, all in all. He is maintainer, He is protector, He is creator, He is everything. And that type of devotee is very, very rare, Bhagavan is saying. Very, very rare. Sudurlabha. And again Bhagavan continuing, saying that one who is not surrendering to Bhagavan, but they are also following some spiritual, they are doing something, but not directly worshipping Bhagavan. They think in their intelligence, Bhagavan Krishna is not directly giving us the fruits of our karma. Better we should take help of some demigods, not the Supreme Lord, but the demigods, Devi Devatas, the demigods. We worship them so that our work will be done, some temporary benefit we will get. But Bhagavan is saying, you will not get the ultimate benefit if you are worshipping demigods. Ultimate benefit you will not get, because you have not realized who is Bhagavan and who is demigods. You have not realized it. You think they are superior. You should understand their existence. They are servants of Bhagavan. Kamaisteste hritagyana prapadyante anya devata. In 7th chapter 20th verse, Bhagavan says, Kamaisteste hritagyana. Because of so much material desire, they have lost their intelligence. They approach demigods. Again, in 7th chapter, 23rd verse, Krishna is saying, Antavattu phalam tesam tad bhavati alpa medasam. Those are less intelligence. They go for temporary benefits. Temporary benefits. Because they are less intelligence. Oh, I want just now, temporary benefit. They think themselves intelligent, but actually they are less intelligence. Antavattu phalam tesam. Antavattu means they go for those fruits to get those material enjoyment or material benefits, fruits, which is antavattu, which is limited and will finish any moment. Very, very temporary result. Antavattu phalam tesam. Tad bhavati alpamedasam. And where is the destiny? Very clearly Bhagavan saying, Devan devajajo janti, janti madbhakta mamapi. To different destiny. Those who worship of demigod, they gradually go where? The final destination is Deva Jajo Janti. Those who worship demigod, they go to demigods' planets, heavenly planets. And in heavenly planets, it is more entanglement, more bondage. That is temporary. They will not permanent. Again you have wasted your time. You come back. Even you can practice. Then one day you can be free from this material bondage. You should be try to free from the material bondage, not to again more entangle yourself. That is Devan Devajo Janti. Janti Madbhakta Mamapi. But my devotees, Krishna is saying, my devotees, because he is giving permanent benefit to them. Janti Madbhakta Mamapi. My devotees, they attend to me. I am eternal, supremely blissful abode of Krishna. They attain all benefit, all good. Then Krishna is saying in 25th verse of this chapter that I don't reveal everywhere myself. I keep myself hiding. Naham prakash sarvasya yoga maya samavritam. That's why not everybody is not understanding Bhagavan. Mudhayo navi janati, those who are dumb, rascals, lower consciousness, they don't understand. Why? Because Yogamaya Shakti. I keep myself covered with my internal potency. Yogamaya Shakti can make impossible possible. If Krishna wants to reveal, same Yogamaya will reveal to that person. And that person wants to forget, Yogamaya will make you forget. That's why Krishna reveals himself, manifests himself by the internal potency. Naham prakash sarvasya yogamaya samavritam. I cover myself, I don't manifest everywhere to every person. Only those who want to come to Krishna under guidance of sadhus, association of sadhu, they were praying. Krishna revealed himself to them. Then Krishna is saying that those practitioners, yogis, those are all their previous karmas, their sinful activities they have done or anything, all their karma, the fruits of karma has completely destroyed already, finished. They only do bhajan of me, not everyone. Jesang tantagatam papam jananang punya karmanam te dvanda moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridabrata. 7th chapter 28th verse is saying. Jesam tvantagatam papam jananang punya karmana. Those pious persons, all the sinful reactions from previous lives, all have destroyed everything, finished up. Then their firm determination, their faith is more condensed to Bhagavan. Even their faith is more stronger to bhajan, in bhakti. If somebody's faith is not in bhakti, not in Krishna, you know that he has still so much karma is left over to suffer or enjoy in this world. And those who will be fully previous karmic reactions has fully destroyed, they become dvanda moha nirmukta. They become free from all duality, all doubts. They'll become free from all attachments, illusions, and they engage themselves in complete bhajan of Krishna, fully determination, full faith. So this is the essence of 7th chapter. In coming days, we'll try to hear, discuss a summary of other chapters. So with these words, I conclude my speech here. जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय, रूपानुगाचार्य शिल गुरुदेव की जय, रूपानुग गौड़्य गुरुवर्ग की जय, समागत भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे